Alright guys, so we're going to be on mines for this particular replay, and we're in the Hawk 30. Now watch when I come up this hill, I'm going to spot the LT-432. We're going to get a really high roll into him for 363, which is good. Now this replay, I'm bringing you this replay specifically on mines because we actually lost the hill on this game, but we actually annihilated this team on top of that. So it's kind of rare to lose the hill but win the game in my eyes on mines. I feel like mines, the hill on mines is vital because once you own the hill, you can really get shots going pretty much anywhere on the map. However, what ended up happening here was, even though they brought a couple people over to this line, I started getting a little nervous. You'll see me leave here in the next like 2 minutes because what ends up happening is they have an AMX and another guy that sits like right in this area, and you have to be very cautious of this because when you sit here, people can actually get shots on you from this bush. So if you're sitting right here, like anywhere in this, actually really like in this entire area, as long as you're not behind this rock or whatever, this whole space is open to people that are going to sit in this bush. And even if you poke out far enough, people can hit you from this bush as well. So you got to be really careful of this crossfire. It's just something to note. And now look, IS-6 is here, M4A1 Rev is here, AMX M449 is here, and if this guy moves to here, he'll have shots on me. So at this point, I need to run away. If I take a shot from someone up in here, that's fine. But we were kind of battling it out over here with the LT-432, and I really wanted to eliminate this guy from the game, but unfortunately that shot misses and we have to move on. Now, what I'm going to do is put this rock in between me and the people over here just to make sure they don't have shots. And that's kind of the way I run away from here. Now, I actually go AFK here for like 30 seconds because I was like ordering my groceries or whatever. I'm like literally on my secondary monitor, but what I have to do is sit in this area and basically just keep the even and the T-832 permalit so that they can't, you know, push into my team here. Because what people do is they like to poke this entire area of the map, or I really shouldn't say the entire area of the map, but this entire area of the hill, so they can poke up and like spot your tank destroyer sitting in the back and stuff. So I don't want this to happen, so I'm literally just going to sit right here, and I tell the RD, like, focus hill. Just focus the hill for now, and likely, you know, we'll be able to counter this. Now, the reason why we won this game is because we took the rest of the map. So you'll see that eventually we win back the one line. The tank destroyers are able to support it, and then they only have the Scorpion back here. So once the Scorpion gets eliminated from the game, well, we have the rest of the map. And honestly, these guys just didn't poke, they didn't use the hill to their full, like, to a complete advantage, right? I think these guys on the hill just didn't really know exactly what to do with it because we were able to get, like, keep these guys alive and get them to start pushing this way. And what ended up happening was we all just kind of hugged the hill. We went around, eliminated their heavies here, and somehow, like, we ended up pushing this way and this way at the same time. And I don't know, it was just wild how this occurred because normally, again, when you lose the hill, you're going to lose the game as well. So this is just kind of one of those rare occurrences where this team didn't use the hill, you know, again, to a full, you know, they weren't fully effective is what I'm trying to say, guys, at using this position on the map. And that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys in this particular game. We're going to fast forward. I'm going to show you the rest of the game and kind of, you know, you can understand how it panned out, why it panned out in this way. Actually, Udez gets lit in the back, but he ends up dying as well. And the reason we were able to spot these guys is because we actually won the 1-2 line. And when you win the 1-2 line, you can stay relatively safe from the hill. So that's also a big reason why is since we won 1-2, that pretty much did it for this team. And, you know, when you win the rest of the map, you can kind of start to find ways around people that are sitting on the hill, right? So that's what we did here. We're able to get all this, you know, kind of flanking crossfire on the guys sitting in here, like the WZ and the Indian Panzer. I'm trying to poke shots at the T-832, but eventually he's going to back away so much so that I'm just going to YOLO into the WZ-111, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to come around the corner here. I'm going to smack a shot into the WZ-111. I'm going to try and kind of get around him here. I'm trying to push around him so that these guys have shots. We're able to get a little damage on him, actually, by just sitting on top of him here. Of course, you take damage as well when you do that, but we got a little more damage here, and now we're just going to push all the way into the hill here. And we're going to go after the LT-432. He ends up being way out over here. He runs off the cliff to run away. And there he is. we're going to get the cleanup shot on him. And that's the game, guys. Could you believe that? I mean, we did fast forward quite a bit, but we won this game 15-2. And we won it with a margin of 8,100 HP. So, in other words, we had 8,100 more HP at the end of this battle. And yeah, 15-2, guys, even though they won the hill. So again, I did a map strategy video on mines maybe a month ago, a few weeks ago. Maybe by the time I post this video, it might have even been a couple months ago. But if you look at that video, you will hear me say in that video, I'm almost 99% certain that there have been times where I have seen one team win the hill and the other team actually wins the game. And this is one of those rare occurrences where we actually stomped this team because they just weren't effective in using this area of the map, and we won the 1-2 lines and we won pretty much everything else. So we were able to flank into these guys while not being held down by the mid. So there you go, guys. You know, anything can happen in these games. You just never know. Always use your head. Keep the wheels turning in here. I always tell you guys, and just keep thinking about, you know, what plays you can make that are going to be safe, and really just how you can, you know, play to your light tank role. Like every time, and don't be afraid. I learned this particular thing from Lemming Rush. Don't be afraid to just sit behind a building or in a bush somewhere and literally just take your hands off the mouse and the keyboard and just do one of these and go, all right, let's see, SU-101 is over here, T-34 is over here, so maybe I can make this play. Nah, I don't think that'll work. You know, all right, it's looking like the West is starting to lose. Let me go back and, you know, retreat and see if I can help my tank destroyers over here. Look at the map. Take a moment. You know, don't sit there for the whole game, but I'm saying take a moment, take 10 seconds, whatever, and go, all right, maybe if I make this play, and just use your brain, right? This is what you have to do in a light tank in order to be a good light tank player. You really need to know what's going on the map, guys. That's how you're going to be a better light tank player. Always be looking at the mini map. Skill likes to call it the maxi map, and just always be paying attention to, like, even the HP of your teammates, what kind of tanks you have on your team, what kind of tanks they have, where they are, you know, what terrain advantages do they have, uphill, downhill, etc. You got to be thinking all these things through, and then once you understand the maps, you won't even have to think about that anymore. It'll just be like second nature. So let's take a look at the end plates for this one, guys. I think that's all I really wanted to say about mines and about playing light tanks in general. We did 1370 damage, 434 assist here. We were in the middle here, kind of in the middle of the pack by damage and experience and whatnot. And yeah, man, their team just really bad. Like, that's really why. Like, we just had such a much better team, even though they won the hill. Like, our team was just overall much better than theirs, and that's kind of how this happened. We made 7,200 coin here. That's all. We got close to 2,000 combined, but mines, like, I'm never really concerned that much with spotting damage on mines. I would like to hold a decent damage number, though. But if you're in the even 90 or something, you might actually get some decent spotting on mines. It's just, mines is like one of those dreadful maps as a light tank that you just have to try and find something to do. You run a different loadout, like run vents, rammer, you know, and, you know, V-stab or whatever. Like, try and better your gun with your equipment rather than using like optics and CVS. But I usually just run this setup all the time anyway. But anyway, that's mines, guys. If you hopefully you're learning from this. If you are, feel free to sub to the channel. It really helps me out. Like and comment, you know, that always helps the video get recommended more. And I will see you guys for the next one. Take care now, and bye-bye.